Bears country. Where is it? You down with BCP? You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
Normally, I would be doing some ridiculous BCP dance right now, but A, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of you, Sean, and B, we were just in Florida and had to leave because of a hurricane, so now unexpectedly I have to do to you from the car. But Sean, it is great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you on.
It's great to be on. Thank you. Hey. Adjust and adapt, right? Hopefully everybody's going to be okay with the hurricane, and you guys be safe as well. Hey, we got tech now. We do it from a car, sitting on top of the car. Don't do that. And anytime you can open with Naughty by Nature and get us going with OPP, it's good to go, man. I'm all in. You know me, so here I am, brother. It's good to be on with you. Thank you.
Oh wait, we can add you to the opener if you want to just really quickly say, you down with BCP?
You down with BCP? There you go.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, you know me. There you go.
Even better. We can add that in too. John, you started a new company, or you're the president, I should say, of a new company called PSF, Pro Sports Fanatics. It's a mobile app that you can download onto your phone, and let's kind of let you explain it, because we brought you on here pretty much for the excitement of that, because I have your team reached out to me a little over a year ago to join the PSF team, and I recently signed on with you guys to start watching Bears games with you, and we brought you on to kind of talk about that. First off, thank you very much for inviting me and making me a part of your PSF team. And Sean, I'd love you just to kind of give us a rundown.
Well, I'm excited. I haven't been in the business for a long time, and thank you for having me on, and we're grateful to have you. It's real simple. The X's and O's are all fine and dandy, which means technology or game plans are great. But if you don't have Jimmys and Joes to execute it and give compelling content, all the X's and O's and good technology doesn't mean anything. But now when you couple that with great people behind the scenes, great talent, passion, and people that want to do it, we're on to something really, I think, epic and special and game-changing in this medium and in this area. And it's, when they asked me, they've been working on this for 3 or 4 years, and then they came to me in December, January, and asked me what I thought of it all. And I spent a couple months deciding, and when they asked me to be the president, I said, yeah, I'd love to do this. And so I haven't been in this business for this long, in TV and radio, and been fortunate to do a lot of things. I'm as passionate about this as I have been about anything, because it's one thing to do it and give content, but now I get a chance to build it and watch guys like you and a team or two in every NFL city. Eventually we'll have them at all the universities in college football. And our baseball stuff, we started with the Astros because they're the World Series champions and built the template from there. And it's a fan engagement app, and the technology's off the charts. And we've waited for the right timing, and to be able to build it, and myself, and going out and hiring good talent and finding the investors and showing them exactly why this is I think a gold mine, not just financially, but we always talk about fan engagement. And I'm not if you ask me to do the technology, we're screwed, my man. So, but I know how to create value for people, I think, and how to sell. But I also am passionate about it because I know the fans deserve more. And that's the whole premise behind this, is a simple fan engagement community app where people can go and be together. And eventually it'll be, we'll get to the point where you have a think tank where there's, 25 coaches on their community app, and you go in and people can fire high school coaches and college coaches, or when you're doing your Bears game, like the Manning Cast, where you're going to be with guests and fans coming in, you're watching the games together, And then it's not linear where it's just you talking, and then on a podcast a week later somebody sends you a message saying, I heard it. It's audio and video to where they're conversing, so you got a great interview on. And all of a sudden you hit that button on that phone, and the fans can come right in. You can have 1,000, 2,000 people watching and listening, and you control letting them in. And then the gambling part of it's another part of it, and monetizing it. But what it is, we all talk about, we want more of the fans. Well, on Twitter, they send you a message and you may not get back to it. Twitter's a great app. It's a great part of what we do, social media. But this allows us to engage. Imagine if, like in the Manning cast, you'll be doing shows during the week, but also on game day. Imagine on a Manning cast, if a fan could dial in on a regular basis and talk to Nate or Eli, how cool that would be for them. We have it. And we've got great talent. So that's what it is. We're building communities and chat rooms and developing where the fan is engaged. Instead of us talking at them like this is a great show, but the fans aren't with us right now. They're going to go back and listen to it and, hey, want to talk questions and have you guys do a great job with the Bears. But hell, why wouldn't they, after we talk about PSF, jump on in and want to talk about it, or jump on in and want to talk about Justin Fields or Matt Eberflus or Luke Getsy? I mean, that's why. So we got a lot of brilliant fans out there, and sometimes it can get lost in translation when somebody sends you a tweet and they didn't mean it with it. We want banter and competition, and the Bears and Vikings are two teams getting together during that game week and the fans being involved. We've built something special here, and I know people think it's crowded. I don't think this is crowded. Why? Because we're doing it different than everybody else. The fan has a huge voice, and it'll be great for sponsorships and what we're doing and bringing, partners in that from places and from leagues and also from teams and other radio types. And then it gets to the point where we're doing these things, radio shows coming on, doing it. The fan engagement's real, and it's real time, and it's now. And we can control. So I couldn't be more excited. It takes a lot longer probably to explain it, but really it's pretty simple. Go get it's at PSF_app, and you go in there, sign up. It's free. And then you'll see all the different chat rooms of sports leagues, and boom, want to get on Bears country, right? Bam, go to the Bears chat, and you'll have your teams there. And we will wall to wall. Every single game in the National Football League will be covered with a media cast this year, plus your constant updates like you're doing NFL Live on your show, meaning a constant football updates, and pop on whenever you want from a restaurant, from your vehicle, and get the fans engaged. So we chatter a lot about having fans involved, and now this is real for the fans. And we're going to discover some beautiful and amazing talent out. Beautiful meaning voices we don't get to hear enough of. We're going to have a platform now to share it, and it's professional and it's respectful, but it's also engaging and passionate. And we got great teams we're building, and you're part of it. And I can't wait to see where this goes. And I'll be watching and listening to all of them. I'll be doing it as well. Mine will be a national thing. It'll be Sean Salisbury Unpaved. But you Bears fans go on every single day, engaged with great guests. And part of the great guests are going to be the fans' involvement, which has been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I found really interesting when I first started talking to you about all this was made by a fan for the fans. And that's exactly what the motto of BCP is made by the fans for the fans. I almost have a head start on this, because this has been all about engagement with the fans, bringing as many fans as we that want to come and join us on the show. I mean, hell, I've almost thought about just putting a link in the description just so anyone could join it. But I don't know how many people would actually do it, Whereas what I love about the PSF app is it's constantly ongoing. It never stops. So you can, if there's a live stream on there, so we have 3 different teams for the Bears games.
Right.
And I'm going to be with Lester Wiltfong myself. We have Adam Sager is going to be with Usaid Koshil. And then we have, I forget his name, Keek on the Mic is his YouTube handle. Yep. I'm not sure who he's with. Dave Zaslowski or something like that.
Probably Zaz, yeah, who I worked with for many years at ESPN.
Okay. And so we'll have 3 different teams that will each be covering. We're going to pick from a calendar and pick the games that we're going to be live casting. And what I like about this, Sean, is that we're not going to have to sit there and, give you guys play-by-play. We're going to be sitting there and engaging with the fans in chat, watching the game in real time, just like we would as fans sitting in our house watching the game. I'm a little bit nervous about doing the Packers game at first. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'm not sure if I want to quite expose myself to that kind of rage.
Let it rip, brother. Let it rip. That's right.
But
You know what's great too about it? Yeah, it is, and it's not just people. You know, the media casts on the game day are awesome, but there'll be pregame shows. And think about how many times you drive in after a game if you're a fan, or even in our business, where, and I know there's radio shows, but a lot of times post game you'll take a caller and then you're waiting. Here, you're like, oh my gosh, I got something. I can't wait to jump in here. I can't believe that Jordan Love just threw a touchdown pass. Or after the game that you want to go in, and it's constant. You want to go in there, schedule a time, and on a Wednesday at noon for 30 minutes, and you go in there, and the people who are at the water cooler on a Monday, their heads exploded because they were 0 for 7 in the red zone, right, and kicked 2 field goals, didn't get any points off touchdowns, and you want to talk about it. It's there, and you're engaged, and the fan can be as engaged as they want to. They can, ride it along the line of the chat line, or they can pop on in. You let them in, and they can talk like we're talking now, but it's not waiting a week, because I've always said, man, when we do it, sometimes people lose their luster and their passion after a game if you got to wait 3 days to talk to the people that are bringing the game to you. And so we'll have 2 and 3 type teams, 2-man, 2. We got some great female and male talent across the country, and they're passionate and care. They care about their teams, but they're also going to, the objective and get after it. And I also like it in my case too, where how often do we want to be able to go through and somebody asks a question? Well, Sean, I don't understand why what does it mean when the announcer said they run this bender? Well, I can pop on a whiteboard in real time and say, here's the play. Bam. They ran the bender post, which is, the middle of the field was open and the slot took the post, and Justin Fields did a great job of throwing a one ball right to him and you can explain it in real time. So, and the fans are engaged. So you're getting your stuff done now. And starting with the Astros, we've covered every single game the Astros have had since this app has started. And you'd be amazed at how many people not only come in, but stay in. Their passion for sports. And we're putting our money where our mouth is. We talk about the fans, and it's, but the fans are heavily engaged in this. And I think it's going places to the point where I hope it gets to the point where we're like, and hopefully we'll get there where, man, I want to be a part of that. Not just fans, but also I want to be a part of it as a media member, because, man, you're going all the time and you got a phone. It's simple. I need simple. I don't need all the buttons, because I would be lost. But we bring a fan in, bam, opinion. It's okay to battle and banter and be respectful, but it's also get after it, man. And I'm so excited about it, because I love building stuff. And I love seeing this from the ground floor and watching talent that you don't get to be around as much. Now I do. And I can go on after the game, and I know that my Bears guys are going to be there. And I could say, man, and then we get you guys battling each other because you have a different opinion on why in the world is that guy starting and he's not. It covers the full gamut. And we're on to something really good. But again, we can draw up all the game plan we want. It's the execution of it by you guys and the talent we're putting on. And I couldn't be more excited to get this season started. And that first week of the season, there'll be show after show after show, and there'll be media cast after media cast on game day, and it's going to be an absolute blast. So thank you for being a part of it, and go get that PSF app, folks out there. You'll love it, because even if hey, listen, you might want to pop into the Patriots app because you want to hear what they're talking about, what you think the game plan is going to be, and chime in there and get in a nice banter with a fan there too. We'll have contests. And it's going to be really, really good. You got to be able to execute it. And I think, have put together one of the all-time, not only apps, but technology and teams. And in 3 years from now, I think a lot of people, or heck, 3 months from now, I think a lot of people are going to want to be a part of it that feel like, man, I don't want to be late to the party. But we do it for the fans. Fans get hosed all the time. They pay the most money for the tickets. They got to do all that. And they deserve a voice. Their voice is always left off the table. I mean, they get a voice, but we're now putting the voice in with respect. And you know what? If somebody is out of hand, well, you just push a button and you control it. But they deserve this engagement. And it's not always about the hot take guy making $8 million a year on TV. They're fine. Plenty of fans know a lot about sports and football. So we are about to engage them and give them their platform as well. And I'm excited about it. I've always believed in it. You know, when you see a vision and all of a sudden that vision comes to fruition, we're that close to making it happen. And, well, it's happening, but with football season being a couple weeks away, I can't wait.
I'm very excited too. I you know, because talking to you like a little over a year ago, and then now it finally coming into fruition. I'm very excited to be a part of this. And you know, one of the things you were mentioning, I know you don't have too much time left. So one of the things that you were mentioning earlier, I just kind of want to push here, is that anybody who is in the chat, as you said, can be brought in via audio, video. They can just hang out in the chat and talk. But if you want to join us on the show and talk with Lester, talk to myself, talk with Adam Sager, talk with Usaid, anybody that you want to be involved in that, you have the ability to do that. I think it's just amazing. And to like what you said, to be able to hop out of there, if we're playing the Packers, go over there and see what the Packer fans are saying, you know, talk a little shit to them, come back and say, hey, these Packers fans are saying all this shit, and you know, it'll kind of add to the banter and
No
the
doubt.
conversation in the room. It's going to be
You know what it is? You know what it is, my man? And that's a great point. You know, when you turn on the morning show and Stephen A. and Shannon are going at it, or Skip Bayless and Shannon, where Stephen A. and, you know, Dan Orlovsky, the fans get to be a part of that and a platform to show that. Now, we all do it at the water cooler. Now you're bringing on, let's say I put on, like I get on, let's say Seth Joyner from the Philadelphia linebacker that played in Philadelphia, great player, Pro Bowler. And the Eagles are getting ready to play the Cowboys. And Joyner comes on. He's like, man, spin him on. And now that Cowboy fan that's listening, that Eagle fan gets to come in real time and talk to, like we're doing, and talk to him. And they can disagree. They can get at it. And the question, so it's just kind of, you know what it is? We're at a time when we put such a chasm between, ooh, Sean's in the media. No, I'm just I'm not even a household name in my own home. I just happen to have a mic. Well, let's get everybody involved. Short of where people are talking over anybody, but we can control that. We want good, hardcore banter. But damn, we finally got a point where I've always said, how do we create it where fans can be on real time? They don't have to send me a tweet, which is great, but wait, sometimes, you know, that thing's scrolling and it gets lost and you got to go back. Here, Sean, it's on my mind. I don't want to forget. Here, why in the world are we playing zone against Jordan Love? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Here's what they're doing in the secondary. Bam, they got their answer. So
I love it
for everybody. And then the banter. And you know what? We're going to learn from the fans too. What drives them, what makes them passionate. They're going to get a voice. And I guarantee you this football season, and I'm going to make sure of it as a president of this company. I don't have much pull, but I do with this. We're going to have a fan that's going to be a regular coming on some show, like in your city or more than one. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to be so good that they're going to get a platform and be we're going to say, damn, every week that guy's got a phenomenal take on his Wednesday show, on the Friday show, the pregame show, on the media cast. Where do I find that guy or that girl and give her a part to do this on a regular basis? And it also gives, let's face facts, everybody wants to make money as well. It gives you guys a chance. When people follow you, they love. Listen, if I can't generate a cup of coffee a month on a subscription on interviewing a top offensive coordinator in the league, then guess what? Then I'm not very good, right? Because I know that we're trying to create value for PSF, for our talent, that's the Jimmies and the Joes, and trying to create value for our fan. The fans deserve it. And I know, hey, sometimes they can get rowdy, but why wouldn't they? Hence the name fanatic. Yes. That's why we do it. We hear it, but they got to do it from a distance. Well, pardon my, but screw that. I'm tired of that shit. Let's put them on and let them be fans. And then when you do that enough times, it becomes respectful. And now you're the morning drive show every day on your phone doing what you're doing. Right? You don't have to be on long. It could be 20 minutes. It could be a 40-minute show. It could be an hour on Wednesdays. And we've got versatility because it comes right here. You don't have to go home and log on to some computer and turn on your desktop. I got this on my mind. Boom, schedule a show. Tell the people on Twitter in 20 minutes I'm going on to PSF. Come on in. Boom, 200 people are in there, and you guys are bantering about what kind of game plan we should use for Matt Eberflus this weekend on playing defense against Jared Goff. You got it. Fans, you deserve more, and I'm about to bring that shit to you as all this great talent.
I love it. The other thing we need to mention too is not only will we be doing each one of our teams for whatever sport be doing the game cast, but we will also each have our own show during the week for however long, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Do as long as you
whatever
want
we
and do it as
decide.
many days you want. You're going to have, if you want to do
Exactly.
one at 9 in the morning and one at 9 at night, that's why we're trying to make this. Hell, sometimes, how many times you woke up at 2 in the morning pissed? You got to show you can't sleep. You drive crazy because your quarterback, you threw 4 touchdowns and nobody's giving him respect on TV. It's like, okay, who's going to, even if it's 5 people at 2 in the morning, at least it's like, okay, I got that out. Now I can go rest because I want to get up and write stuff down. So fan, fanatic, passionate, nut job, we're all that when it comes to sports. Mm-hmm. There's so many emotions, and all we're trying to do is bring that out, and in the process, monetizing it and making everybody happy. There you go.
I love it. To your point, there could be people in there talking all day long, 24 hours a day. So you can hop in there at 3 o'clock.
And you don't need us. You go in there and talk with each other. All of a sudden you're going in there and bam, somebody goes in. They're going. They want to talk. And then what's going to happen, where this is going to lead, is that the community that comes into the thing is going to form a fan community. Or we're going to do the college football, and all of a sudden in Tuscaloosa, they're going to have the Alabama community. Or your high school football team in Katy, Texas, that has 10,000 boosters, and they want to go in there and get after it because they got stuff to talk about because they're pissed that the coach doesn't throw the ball. Whatever it is, it's an endless – there's no ceiling. And I like that it's like being a great salesperson. You're creating value. Don't put a ceiling on what I can earn or what I can bring to the table or what kind of passion I can bring. We're busting through it. And now they're going to get a chance. And fans, some of you are so smart. You call a radio show. I do morning drive on iHeart Houston every morning. And they'll call in and they give great takes. But sometimes you want to banter back and forth, but doesn't make for good radio because you got breaks to get to and hard outs. We got no hard out here. If when our sponsors, it'll be scrolling across. We'll read a commercial. Plus, they get the visual of the sponsorship of the commercial, like Spindle Tap Beer sitting right up there for 2 hours on your show. What a great way to do it. And you're reading a commercial, they'd get to double dip. But with the fans, I mean, it just, to me, I don't think it's a crowded space. If it is, good. Fuck it. I like competition. Let's go. And let's bring it. And I think we're creating something that everybody can be a part of without having to say, I called the show, but I got 15 seconds. They had to cut me off because they're going to break. Okay. Well, now we get it's longer form, and we get to have at it with your passion. I've been saying it a long time. Fans, you deserve better. You're why we do it. You're why we get paid to do it. So why the hell shouldn't you be involved every day in the banter? And that's what it's going to be.
I love it. You got Chet fired up here too, Sean.
I love him. Hey, listen, my Bears fans are like the Bears fans are longing for greatness, which we should get to here. Enough about me. Let's talk about what's real important. Justin Fields, Bears defense, rookie backup, man. I mean, I can't wait to see this division because you know what? I can tell you now, the Packers aren't running away with this thing. The Packers aren't even the favorite to me. The Vikings are, if you didn't listen, I know as Bears fans, if you didn't kind of give a little bit of love for Kirk Cousins after seeing that the quarterback show about how get the dog shit beat up. Jim McMahon's one of my best friends. Mac is, and teammates in Minnesota have been one of my best friends forever. That kind of tell you Mac had his ass whooped his whole and kept coming back. And now we got stuff to create. And I promise you that you and I will get Jimmy Mack on this show this fall, and we'll have him as a guest or on PSF as well, taking calls. And you'll listen to Mac do what Mac does. He'll probably have a dip in and a cold beer and have it. But
I would love that.
Taking a guy like that and understanding just how tough it is to play the position. But think about the excitement. Is it the Detroit Lions offense, but can they tackle anybody? Is Eberflus going to blitz a little more? And who is Justin Fields? The enormous freak show talent. Can he make the ordinary play every play? Are they going to run the ball efficiently? Is Luke Getsy going to take a few more chances? And the perimeter people, can they protect Fields where he can sit in that pocket and not have to go run first, pass second? Is Jordan Love, was it time for Rodgers to move on, and is Love the real deal? Hell, and is Kirk Cousins finally going to get him deep in the playoffs, or are they just what the Vikings have been, kind of tease you? So I think there's so many sidebars in all the divisions, but this is as intriguing a division as there is. Why? Because we don't really know what we're going to get out of it, right? We really don't. And the Bears, the history of the Bears and the historic Bears and the fan base, one of the better cities on the planet. I am immensely fired up about this football season, what you Bears fans bring, and you guys deserve it. I know you'd like the 85 Bears defense. You're not going to get that. But as long as Fields can make a few plays and the defense can get some stops, the Bears will be better this year.
What do you think about the narrative that, I mean, from a quarterback's perspective, what are you seeing with the narrative of Justin hanging out of the ball too long? Is that something from your perspective as a quarterback? Is that the receivers not getting open? Is that him not going through his progressions correctly?
Combination of everything, my man. It is. It's a combination of it. Listen, our expectations are out of whack now when a quarterback comes into the league. Because you know what we do? Well, damn, is he Mahomes? Well, who the hell is? Who the hell is? I know, and we're spoiled. I say that, and all of a sudden you look at the gauntlet, Fields and Burrow and Allen and Mahomes and Jackson. I mean, we're at the top of this league. We are loaded with some badass dudes playing quarterback now in a quarterback-driven league, quarterback-driven society. But think about it. Hell, we don't even talk about Jared Goff, and he'll throw for 5,000 this year if they keep. I'm just telling you. And, you know, former first pick of the draft, Fields is such an enormous monster talent, right? I mean, he's capable of, if they get the right players, and he does it, and as he continues to develop on the when you say mental, people say, what? No, he's a second-year guy trying to get to a point where he give the guy a chance to learn through the curve that's there. And Mahomes didn't start but one game as the last game of the regular season. He didn't start one game as rookie year, just one. And not everybody's more. We got to quit comparing these guys to the elite of the elite. Give him a chance to fail and give him a chance to succeed before we start crowning the guy Sammy Baugh or friggin' Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady. Shit, what do you expect from a rookie quarterback who's getting the dog shit beat out of him on a regular basis and carrying him with his legs and his arm? Now, listen, does he got some stuff to learn? You bet he does. What second-year quarterback doesn't? My thing with Justin Fields is he doesn't have to – if I could give him one piece of advice sitting in that meeting room, you don't need to be a hero every play. You just don't. And it's hard to teach a guy because you know what he is? He's got hero skill set. Big, physical, fast as anybody on the field, can throw it a country mile, had success at Ohio State, highly recruited. He's only known success. Last year's the first time he got his ass handed to him at times and still, you know, made things happen. I'd love him to run the ball. I don't ever want to take that skill set away from him, but the next level, if I was coaching him as his quarterback coach, I'd say, dude, here's how we're going to live. I want you to play the position and train as if you don't have great legs, as if you don't have a powerful arm. I train a lot of quarterbacks across the country, and the ones that are physically gifted, you know what I tell them all the time? I said, let's train like you got a average arm, that you're shorter, you're not 6'4", 230, and that you run a 4.9 or a 5 flat 40. Now what do we do? Well, coach, I need to study harder. That's right, and smarter. Well, I got to understand pre-snap and post-snap better. That's exactly right. My eyes got to urgently get through progressions without being hurried, and there is a difference. And then when I drop back to pass, understanding if you know where Denny Green used to always say this to me, just know who to get and how to get them. And when you know who to get and how to get them, guess what that means? The ball will come out a little quicker. Right now, Justin Fields is the guy, I got to make every play to win. Of course, I get it. Now, is he ever going to be Breeze accuracy? Probably not. But then again, once again, who is? So for me, the next level for him is a little more patience and what's the word I'm looking for? Boredom in the pocket. I'd like to have him bored in the pocket. See, if I train him to throw on time and throw receivers open and anticipate and study defensive tendencies, guess what he'll do then? When the ordinary play is not there, the guy's covered, then the natural ability seeks in. Even for us non-guys that can't do it, Justin Fields, what do we always do? What happens when you put your damn finger on a hot pan? Your ass jumps back and you pull it back because it hurts. Same thing at quarterback. Oh, now I get it. They've taken, and now all of a sudden everything breaks down. Now go do what you do, dude. There's about 8 to 10 plays a game when a quarterback's just got to be a badass. Go make me a friggin' play that I can't teach. And every now and then even means throw it to your mom in the stands. So for Justin Fields, there's going to be a narrative because he's a phenomenal – its biggest strength is his biggest weakness. He is a tremendous playmaker. He thinks he's got to make every play, and understandably so, because quite frankly, at times he had to. But he doesn't. Yes. Those other guys get paid too. And once he settles in and makes the ordinary play, hit the flat route, hit the curl route, stand in the pocket, reset with your head up the field, reset, sidestep, take the number 2 guy. hit the check down for 6 yards. To my math, 4, 4, and 4 equal 12. That's first down. And then the extraordinary play will come because not every cat has his ability. So think like Breeze, make the ordinary play, react like Mahomes or like Fields and make the extraordinary play. And when he does that, his game will get to another level. He's a guy I'd love to coach because I think we got a lot of space left to coach, yet sometimes he'll leave your jaw hanging down. He's saying, damn, I don't know how he made that play. And he's one of those 5 or 6 players this year that I cannot wait to watch and see how Luke coaches him, how Matt turns him loose, and what they're going to do with their weapons to make sure he doesn't feel like he has to be a hero on every play.
That's a great point. He feels like he has to be a hero in every play. He's always looking downfield for the big play. And maybe a good idea to what you were saying would just be to strap a couple of 25-pound weights around each leg, each ankle, and just have him stand in the pocket back there and make him a lot harder to run when he's practicing,
Right. And you know what else is true? Think about this think about this. I asked one core, I'll leave it out. He was everybody would know who his name is if I said it. But I asked him, I said, when somebody comes to you and says game manager or quarterback, what comes to mind? And he said, Sean, you know what he told me? Well, okay, that's a negative connotation to most, right? Game manager.
Right.
Right now, you know what Justin Fields needs? Be a game manager because his natural ability, he's got that a lot of guys. Listen, as much as I love Kirk Cousins, you know what Cousins can't do? The extraordinary stuff that Fields can. You know the things that Cousins does better in the field. He's been in the league longer. He makes some ordinary plays, and then he'll make some extraordinary throws. He's a great throw of the football. My point is he's got that in his arsenal. He just needs to perfect the other part of the arsenal, and that's making the ordinary play. Because what happens is you start making that ordinary play, the natural thought process of the defense is the guy's elevated his game. Now they start squeezing that, and now you make your whole shot throw, your deep ball, you scramble and go make a play. And while you're training to do it, we'll get back to the game manager. And you know what he told me? He goes, Sean, it's the highest compliment I can give a quarterback. Who's the best game manager of all time? Tom Brady is.
Yeah.
Best game manager of all time. Why? He hit the shallow crosser in the flat 8 million times in Super Bowls, the mesh play, shallow cross. He didn't miss the 6-yard throw. He didn't miss the check down. He didn't miss the hitch route, the slant to the seam and inside. He didn't miss the bender post to Gronkowski just over the Mike linebacker. There was a 12-yard throw that Gronk finished in the end zone. And then when they squeezed him on coverage, bam, he takes a double move go and hits some guy, a Chris Hogan, who was a lacrosse player, for a 60-yard touchdown. Why? Because he outpatiented you. Ordinary, squeeze ordinary, bam, the ability to make extraordinary. So Fields has got a unique skill set, and the one thing he needs to do is realize, dude, you can't make every play, even though your ability says you can. And when he gets to that point, I put it this way, the Bears have never run a guy through this organization since I've been alive. Cutler could sling it, but he didn't have the athleticism. We can go, McMahon was as tough as 100-year-old leather, and if you're as tough as Jim McMahon, God bless you. And by the way, my prayers to one of my favorite people, to Steve McMichael, not only Hall of Fame-wise, but everything. Yes. God bless his – you want to talk about some fight now. Good gracious. But watching people rally around, manga, it's heartbreaking. Also, it is extraordinary. So I wanted to get that in, but so when you think about feet and arm, Eric Kramer was a real accurate thrower, and Mack did his. I mean, we can go through the list of them, but you know what Fields has? He's got all of it, except the one thing he doesn't do enough of yet, and that's because he's new at this position in the NFL. It's hard. Trust me. Shit, I made the position look hard. 10 years, I know it's hard. I threw it to the other team plenty. If you'll just play boring, the explosion will come. And when I say that, people say, what do you mean boring, Sean? I want him to be a thrill a minute. He'll be a thrill a minute. Don't worry about that. But make me the boring, simple play. If he makes me 15 simple plays a game, miss tackle for an extra 10 yards, the Chicago Bears will beat teams that maybe we don't think they're supposed to beat. Stay tuned for Justin Fields.
Yes. Thank you for that take, Sean. I think everyone in chat is loving what you're having to say about Justin Fields. They're also having, before we let you go, everyone in chat is also wondering what you think about the undrafted free agent, rookie free agent Tyson Bagent, who now looks to be this quarterback 2 after P.J. Walker has been cut.
What a friggin' great story.
Really?
Now,
I know, right?
PJ Walker's got some experience and beat him out. And you know what happens? You know what, Pat? You know what this quarterback did? Tyson, where's he from? What's the name of the university? Division
Shepherd.
II school? Yeah, Shepherd. Listen, and he threw him for 1,000,000 yards and made every play and touchdown. So he got a lot of reps throwing the football in college. Listen, all reps aren't good reps. I like good reps. And he got a lot of good reps because he threw it to the right guy all the time. You know what it proved to me? And I thought about it because when I blew out my knee and was undrafted, I had to beat out 5 quarterbacks to make the team my rookie year. And you know what I did? I was big and strong and could throw it, and I studied it, was smart. But you know what I didn't do in training camp? I didn't miss much. I threw the ball to the right guy. I did what coaches wanted me to do. I didn't try to be a hero, even though I had a stronger arm than anybody in camp. I don't mean that arrogant. It's just I went in saying, Sean, how are you guys that had been drafted? You have David Craig there and Gail Gilbert. How are you? They traded for Paul McDonald, who's been in the league a long time. Sean, how are you making this team? And then you end up lasting 10 years. You know why? Because by the end of training camp, the coaching staff trusted me. They trusted me, and that's why I root for guys like this. Damn, a guy who wasn't drafted, has really good skill set, but is anybody going to give him a chance to practice and get on the field during practice and make some throws? Well, every day. Yeah, he didn't have the luxury of missing 5 throws in a row because he wasn't drafted. The guy who gets drafted or signed as a free agent has the luxury because you got to take the title from him. But you know what he did? He built trust, made throws in preseason games. Every day, the grind of practice to me is where you make the team, not just 8 throws in a preseason game. That's the validation of all the work you put in during 2-a-days in practice. Is that when they left camp, I guarantee you that the coaching staff thought, I trust him. Smart guy. Throws it to the right guy. That if we have to put him in game 3 in the second half because Justin has got hit and he's out 2 series, I can trust him to hold it even as a rookie. You have to build the trust for a staff among teammates and among players. So I was fortunate to do that my rookie year. So it's weird, but I feel the same way he did. I'm like, well, I get a shot with all these quarterbacks to compete. And they went and got Paul McDonald. Like I said, they went and PJ Walker. You're like, what are my chances, really? And I'll be damned. Every time he got a snap, he made the most of it because he treated it, in my mind, I'm assuming, he treated it as if I don't make this play, I got no shot. And I'm not going to get left behind on the mental side of the game. So, listen, and the truth of the matter is I would imagine everybody on the field saw it. I felt it when I was playing my rookie. I said, I know how this team feels about me now because I earned it. Not arrogant, I just did. And he earned it. And that's high praise for it's not like there's a 10-year veteran sitting in front of him as your backup quarterback. If something happens in game 1, guess who your quarterback is? Get my point? So that's even double trust from a coaching staff and an organization to say, damn, this dude's making minimum salary for the most part, and he's a Division II Shepherd guy, but he proved to us he's a Sunday player. I couldn't be happier for him, and I'm going to root for that story as well. I just hope, no offense to him, that he doesn't see the field this year other than to hand off or kneel down at the end of a game that Fields is healthy
or
for
a blowout.
17. Right, that's exactly right.
Hopefully we're beating the Packers 47-0 and they can put them in.
Well, you know what, buddy? They all count the same when you win them. I'm not sure you'll hang 47 on a daily basis against Green Bay, but if you can pitch a 47-0 shutout against the Packers, hell, I'll walk to Green Bay and celebrate with a brat and a beer in front of them. But it's going to be a fun division to watch, and we've got some exciting players in it, and the Bears are right near in that list, and anybody's division, and that's a fact because a couple teams are an injury away from their whole narrative and their whole paradigm being shifted. So let's get after it, man. And that's my division where I played most of my football, so I've got an extra affinity for that division.
A very exciting division to watch for sure. With the resurgence of the Lions, the Packers don't. And we're all hoping, they're going to suck now that Aaron Rodgers is gone. Probably not. They got a pretty damn good defense. They got a damn good running game. But the Vikings are damn good too. I mean, they did lose their starting running back, but I guess they're a dime a dozen now, so it doesn't really matter. You can just plug and play somebody else, right?
the only guys who don't think running backs are a dime a dozen are the quarterback who needs that guy late in the game to carry the football to secure a win. So you'll never get me to devalue a running back. I can sure as hell tell you that Ryan Tannehill's not saying, damn, you know what, man, Henry, we don't need Derrick Henry. You're damn right, you sure as shit do need him.
Yeah, you do.
And if you're San Francisco and Brock Purdy, you're like, I like that guy McCaffrey. He makes my job a lot easier. So, yes,
Absolutely.
We as quarterbacks know how important those guys are. And I'd like to see the running back carry it more than Justin Fields. Does that make sense? When we get to that point now, when they're there, great, but let the running backs do all that hard work, and you go make those spectacular plays when necessary.
Sean, I really want to thank you for coming on, taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot going on with PSF. I know you have some other content creators you're going to hop on with. Really appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Make sure that you guys download the PSF app on your phone. Is it available for Android yet?
That should be done. Listen, we have meetings about it every week, our corporate meeting stuff. I got news for you. The Android and the betting part of this app that you punch a button and go and come back because you want in-game betting or what you want to do. The Android for the phone, the Android, we wanted it done yesterday. That is coming down. It is our number one priority right now when it comes to that app is making sure our Android users have an opportunity to be a part of it. Don't give up because it's rolling, and we're going to make sure it's just as easy for you as it is for the non-Android users. So thank you for patience, but our meetings are longer than they're supposed to be, making sure we get that. That's exactly right. So I appreciate. Yeah, go to get that PSF app, guys, and come join us. You'll love it.
My wife is. She works for a financial institution, and they're having a lot of problems with getting their Android stuff going up too. So it must be a little bit different than the Apple stuff. So
right,
but
and we'll get it worked out. Those guys that are smart technology guys, those tech guys are brilliant, so they'll get it done. And by the way, Retro Music Network, doesn't cost money to talk or chat. Now it's going to be up to the host. We've given them that option. If they've got a certain thing where they charge because they're getting special interviews $1 a month for your subscription, $12 a year, and they get 1,000 people in there, then that's awesome. The truth is, I'll have a certain part of my show to get the app or to come in and talk and chat's free. Hell no, it doesn't cost you anything. But if I've got a special interview or something and you do it, I'm going to end up donating half my money to a charity of choice anyway. So while you're giving, I'm going to be giving back on it. But to get the app and to come in and chat, hell no, it doesn't cost you a dime. We're not doing that to you. We want you in there now. There's certain listen, if Chris Stapleton comes on going to sing a concert for you for 60 minutes, you're probably going to have to pay $1 or $2 for that part of the subscription. But I'll do my best Chris Stapleton and Tennessee whiskey for you so you don't have to do that right off the bat. How's that?
Excellent. And Sean, if you can get Jimmy Mack, I'm going to hold you to that now. And if you can I'm going to buy you a steak dinner.
When I get on, when Jimmy Mack comes on our PSF show and your show, and we both got to be a guest that day. Fair enough. Fair enough. Our Bears fans, I better not have to buy a beer in Chicago ever again in my friggin' life. How's that? Fair enough.
You will not. You will not. You hear that, guys?
When I make a commitment, if you see him. I will stand by it. I got you, man. We'll have some fun with this stuff too.
Sean, thanks again for coming on and joining us to talk about PSF, giving us your take on Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent. It's going to be a lot of fun working with you in the future on PSF, guys. Make sure you go download that app. It will be available, like Sean said, soon for Android, but it's currently available for Apple. And just want to thank you again, Sean, and I'm sure maybe we'll have you on again someday.
Hey, you know me. I'm down with OPP, at least when it comes to other people's property on the football field. Nowhere else. I don't want anybody's other people's property. And we'll see if we can't get Jimmy Mack on there and let him be naughty by nature and get Mack singing for you or something. But, yes, I'm honored to be on. Thank you to your great Bears fans and to your show. Keep up the great work. Great to have you part of PSF. And go Bears. It's going to be one hell of a run, guys. Thank you for the great fan base. I look forward to it.
I was on the show with a 1, 2, 3 Bears. You want to do that for me?
Let's go. Yep.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bears. There you go.
Where's it at, Foster? Are you going to kill it?
Thanks, I appreciate it.
He's new to producing.
That's okay. There we go.
Buddy.
Thanks so much for having me on, brother. I'll talk to you soon, and thanks to your fans. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. We got a show coming on at 10 o'clock tonight. Last call at Hallis Hall with Dan Aguirre. Beautiful dog. I got my dog in the back. They're the same breed. Thanks again, Sean. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.